Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my June wrap up. So, in the month of June, I actually did not read that many books. I tried to, but June was a very busy month for me, so I didn't get much reading done. So, this is probably going to be a fairly quick wrap up, to be honest. I'm hoping it's a longer wrap up for you guys in July because I'm planning to read a lot more books in July, but I have to go with the flow and just kind of like read when I can. And so, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, anyways, for this month, I only have 3 books and a graphic novel to show you guys. So, I'll start with the graphic novel. I read Dark Cloud, and so this is like I would say it's a sci-fi graphic novel about a woman and her like sidekick who's a robot, and this robot has been assigned to protect her with like at all costs. And so it's in this world where people are trying to like control different territories, and she's in a certain territory that is kind of being invaded by the military. And so she's trying to protect the territory at the same time as trying to like find out what the ulterior motives are for the military and like what they want this territory for. And so yeah, it's her and her sidekick robot kind of investigating like the military base and seeing what's gonna go from there. I can't say too much more because that it's a very short graphic novel and that like dives into more about it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a fun time. It was very quick. One thing that was really cool was the art style. So if you actually look at it, like this is the art style. Oh, there's a glare. This is the art style. But what I did is like I looked into it a bit because the author sent me the graphic novel, but also like a link to their website. And on the website, it kind of shows like the process of how they created this art style. So they actually took photos of these people in real time and like kind of manipulated them to be cartoon figures for this graphic novel, but they were all like actual people dressed up in these outfits and taken pictures of them like in front of green screens and stuff like that. So I thought that was really like a fun way to do a graphic novel, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But I give this 3 out of 5 stars. I would continue reading the series because it did pull me in enough to continue. So if there are more coming out, then I'll keep my eyes out for them. Next up, I read Leah on the Offbeat, and I gave this one a 3.5 stars. So I did enjoy this book. The only reason it's not like a higher rating is because it's nothing special. Like it was just kind of like a basic high school, not really rom-com, just like high school contemporary. And it was a lot of fun following Leah, who is the main character, who is also bisexual, but she's not out to her friends yet. She's out to her mom, but just not her friends. And so it's kind of like her going through this inner struggle of coming out to her friends, hoping that they don't like treat her any differently. And yeah, it's just her kind of going through that process. And it's kind of funny because like she's best friends with Simon Spear, which is like the main character of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, who also is like gay. So she's like, it's weird because she's like worried to tell Simon, even though she knows that like he's probably going to accept her like 100%, and like there's no reason for her to be fearful, but she still is. And I totally understood that feeling because like I'm bisexual. So when I was like also in the same kind of situation as she was, where she hadn't come out to her friends yet, I had that same like feeling. I was so nervous, and it's a very terrifying thing to like open up this part of yourself to other people when it's been hidden away for so long. And so like I totally understand like what she was going through and what she was feeling, and I really enjoyed seeing another like bisexual main character in a book because I don't think they're like highlighted enough. And so that was really nice to see that representation and like kind of feel like a part of myself in this book. Like it was cool to see that. Now there are lots of points in this book where people are very like biphobic, so know that going into it if you do read the book. It is like I think put in there to kind of add to the plot line of like Leah fully accepting herself. And I see why it was put in there, but like just know that that is in there if you do want to read this book. But yeah, it was fun. Leah's like a very like carefree, but at the same time does care what people think kind of person. I like her like go F yourself attitude though. I also connected to the fact that she loves to draw, and I used to, like in high school, I was drawing all the time. I loved doing sketches and drawing like superheroes and stuff like that because I was very into comic books, as you can see behind me. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, but like just an average contemporary story, I guess. So 3.5. And I would definitely read more by Becky Albertalli. Like I do love her writing, so I'm going to continue reading her books. Then I read a book which, if you've already seen this reading vlog, you know all about it, but that is the Book of Cold Cases, because I had this for Once Upon a Book Club, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I had such a fun time with this book, partly because I think it was like the book box experience. Once Upon a Book Club is like a box that has gifts that you open as you go through the book, and it'll give you like page numbers, and you open gifts that kind of like correlate to the book's storyline, so it kind of feels like you are a part of the story. It's a really fun subscription box, and I am really glad that I'm a VIP for them and I get to do these boxes from time to time because I have a blast every time. But this one was so much fun. It's a really fun like murder mystery to follow along with. So if you don't know, the main character's name is Shay, and she works at, I think she's like a receptionist for a doctor's office, but then she has a hobby where she runs a blog called the Book of Cold Cases. And essentially it's like a website all about different cold cases that were never solved. And it's her kind of like digging into these cold cases to try and like figure out where things went wrong and stuff like that. So anyways, she ends up running into, well, not, I guess not really running into, the character that comes into play is Beth, and Beth was actually named the lady killer back in the 70s. So Beth comes into the doctor's office, and well, Shay knows who she is immediately once she sees her name like on the record, and she's like, oh my god, this is the lady killer, like I need to interview this woman. So Shay approaches her to do an interview with her, and Beth agrees. And so Shay ends up going to the house that Beth lives in, where her father was murdered as well. So now she's going through the process of interviewing Beth for her blog. And so, yeah, it's the journey of that. And there's other things at play as we go along. There's other things revealed as you go along. And yeah, it was a really fun like murder mystery that was exciting to puzzle along with. And I feel like the end was still pretty satisfying. I will say the twist was kind of revealed like fairly early, and so that kind of made the last part, that might be why it's not a 5 stars, because the last part kind of like wasn't as exciting because you knew what was going to happen based on the twist already being revealed. I personally love when like there's multiple twists in a book, or the final twist is like really close to the end, so it keeps you like hooked right in and you just like can't stop and can't put the book down. So yeah, that's why I give 4 stars, but I did really enjoy the book, and I was very grateful that Once Upon a Book Club sent me this box to do the unboxing for you guys. If you guys want to check out that video, it's, I believe, 2 videos back, which is my reading vlog. It's called Murder Mystery Reading Vlog. So yeah, that's on the channel. I'll also try and link it here, but I might forget when I'm editing, so we'll see. And then the final book I read was Blue Haven by Lisa King. I'm actually going to be running a book tour for this in the end of July, so we'll have a bunch of other people's opinions on this book. But I thought this was really fun. I would give this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. This one is kind of like a sci-fi thriller. So essentially, what happens in this one is the main character wins the lottery, and they use that lottery winning to go to this place which is called Blue Haven, and it's essentially like a paradise. So when you go to Blue Haven, you get assigned into like a condo on the beach, and it's your condo. You get a personal like butler / concierge, and they take care of anything. So if you have a request, you have like a little watch on your wrist, and you just tap on the watch and be like, hey, I need a mimosa right now. Then their like personal concierge butler person will go get it for them and just essentially do anything they ask them to. And then they can just rest on the beach, they can go swimming in the ocean and spend time with like the few other people. There's only a select amount of people here because you need to pay like millions to be here. So yeah, And then there's this giant thing in the middle called the Hexagon, which is like a building that has all these restaurants, like all of these like boutiques, anything you could really think of. It's all here in Blue Haven. And so the main character is like settling into her new situation, and she starts to notice things that kind of seem odd to her. And then from there, she goes into exploring more and more about this place. And it might not be exactly what it seems. And so that's all I can really say. But yeah, I had a great time with it. This one, it was also a 4 out of 5 because there was a certain twist that was revealed fairly, like I would say probably 2/3 of the way through. And so, like I said, like I want more, but the ending really like was a good ending, I think. It was something like I wasn't exactly expecting, so when it happened I was like, "Oh, okay. I like how they like did that at the end." But yeah, this one was a lot of fun, and I read Lisa's other book, which I believe was called Vanishing Hour, and that was like a dystopian one. That one was a fun time too. So like I will continue reading books by Lisa because I do enjoy her writing, and yeah, I just enjoy like seeing the different things that she comes up with. So I'll continue to read her books. And that's all I read in the month of June. Unfortunately, I didn't get too much more. Like I wish I read more, but I was just so busy this month. So yeah, I'm hoping to have a lot more reviews for you in my next wrap up because hopefully I'll have more time to read. But yeah, that's what I read. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, and let me know what you thought of them. Also, let me know what your favorite book was of June, because I always like to know what everybody's favorites are. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as linked by my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.